Hi, I'm Ryan Watkins. We're down here in Corpus Christi, Texas, and we're gonna be fishing in the lower Laguna Madre today. The big trout are moving shallow, and we're gonna get some opportunities at them. Probably mix in a couple of redfish it too. I hope you enjoy it and stay tuned for Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. Oh my gosh. Check that out.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Cobia! Big one. And a monster! Look at that!
That's a Tawakoni giant.
This is Let's Fish.
Hi, I'm Ryan Watkins. This is Let's Fish TV. We're down here in Corpus Christi, Texas, and we're gonna be fishing in the lower Laguna Madre. We're gonna be in a Waypoint Customs boat 24 VX Mamba. This boat is a cat's meow of boats, guys. If you're a weekend guy or a tournament angler, look into Waypoint Customs. This is a boat you want to be running. We'll have this week's fishing reports from your local region from our inside reporter. I'm gonna get this Mamba 24 VX set up and we're gonna get ready to go. While I do, let's get started back to studio with your weekend planning.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Let's Fish TV. Don't forget, daylight savings time starts this Sunday, so be sure to spring those clocks forward. The Salooner tables are predicting fair game fish activity both days this weekend. Peak game fish activity begins about 2:48 Saturday and 4:43 on Sunday afternoon. The best time to start fishing in the dark begins around 2:23 on Saturday and 4:18 early morning Sunday. Depending on your area, you can expect the sun to rise around 6:44, then set around 6:34. Nights will feature a moon that's 85% visible. We'll be right back to check all of the current fishing reports from throughout the area. And I'll return with Bassmaster Elite Angler Steve Kennedy for this week's Ask the Pro question.
We're down here in the lower Laguna Madre. We got the 24 Mamba VX launched and we're ready to get out on the water. Today we're gonna be wade fishing for speckled trout. The name of the game is finding the guts that are perpendicular to the shorelines. Those fish are coming out of the deep water looking to move up to feed. What are they feeding on? Bait. That's the key, guys. We've got to have bait in these guts that we're fishing. If it doesn't have bait, it's no good to us. So we're gonna make a little run, go see if we can find what we're looking for. We're standing here on this shoreline and we've got a perpendicular gut coming into this shoreline, and we've got some scattered grass beds out here in this deeper water, and we're just crawling this bait through here. I mean, we're just dusting it on bottom. These fish are really lethargic right now. We had a front 2 days ago, and so they're just not really wanting to eat, so we're having to hop it in front of them and we're making them react to the bait. That's called an instinctive bite. And this time of year, that's what you want to do, guys. You want to make them react, and all instincts. There's one. Nice trout. Guys, it's important when you're fighting these trout, especially when you're wading the water, don't be afraid to keep your rod down. Control that fish, don't let it control you. You can just work them back and forth. Just let her do her thing. Always keep enough line out where you can bring that fish to you when she's ready. And just push your rod back behind you. And when she's ready, just bring her to you. Just like that. Guys, we're down here in Corpus Christi, Texas on the lower Laguna Madre, and we're looking for trout like this. Good, quality, healthy trout, okay? We're throwing soft plastics and the bite's just gonna get better. This time of year, you really want to look for bait. We'll let that one go, I guess. We're gonna get back at it, guys. We got us a bunch of little raft. Got us a raft of mullet out here. We're gonna keep casting these little satellite potholes. The fish seem to be pushing up shallower with the bait, so we're gonna follow the bait and see if we can't get some more bites.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with this week's Let's Fish Report, coming to you from Hackberry, Louisiana, right here at Cajun Paradise Charters. Tell you what, old Cajun Phil and I had a great week last week at the George R. Brown. Hope you got to see us, book a few trips, talk a little fishing. Speaking of talking fishing, we're gonna start out right now over by Houma, Louisiana. Old Captain Bill Lake, he's normally on them trout and redfish, but I tell you what, he's been taking a break from that, catching lots of bass, lots of white perch. He's throwing some humdinger spinnerbaits and some little tube jigs for his white perch or crappie. Also, Toledo Bend. There's been several over 10, a couple even bigger than that, getting caught, a 15-pounder. Biggest thing this time of year, those fish, those were mostly pre-spawn, but now they're getting to spawn and they're gonna be on the beds. You can sight fish them. You catch a big one, weigh it, take a picture, and let her go, let her do her thing, and tell you what, everybody will have a chance of catching more bigger bass. Saltwater side of things, right here on Calcasieu. Seems to be picking up a little bit. The water's starting to get a little better. Some shrimp are finally starting to come back in. Trout bite's still a little slow. Redfish bite's still doing pretty good. All along the Gulf Coast, pretty much same report. Lots of redfish, few trout. Same thing out of Venice though. Venice and Grand Isle, they're going way out catching lots of tuna. For old Cajun Phil, I'm Captain Kevin Broussard saying, let's fish. We're gonna see you next week.
Guys, what we're doing here this morning is we're fishing these little 5-inch soft plastic bait. There's one. And we're fishing them real slow, just dusting them on the bottom. When it's real flat and calm like this, they tend to want that bait just dusted on the bottom. They don't want anything really erratic, jumping back and forth. You know, a little 1-2 hop off the bottom is really all you need. Just a nice quality fish here. Nice quality fish, guys. Catch them on a little watermelon red, little soft jerk bait. And guys, the key today has been slowing down that retrieve. That's been the key. You can hear him grunting. This is just a little male. Listen guys, if you're down here wade fishing and you got a day like today where there's no wind, 2 key things are gonna get you more bites. A long cast and fishing slow. We're just bumping this bait along the bottom, okay? It's nothing erratic, it's real subtle. Just a little 1-2, 1-2. That's all it is. And what we're doing is we're dusting our bait in that pothole. And when we come across one, she's gonna pick it up and eat it. But you gotta have a long cast. These fish are spooky when it's calm, and if you can't get your bait out there, you're not gonna get bit. We're throwing it on a 16th ounce jig head with a 2/0 hook. It's really important to have that 16th ounce jig head. It's gonna allow you to fish slower, but not get hung up in the turtle grass. Solid trout. We don't have much wind this morning, so we're having to go real slow and easy down this flat. This time of year, guys, you've got to find bait. Bait is the key, and we got a little raft out here in front of us, and these fish are that's a quick release. That's what we call a Texas quick release. Fish is healthy and alive, and that's exactly how we want it.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion. Glacier outdoors since 1982.
Great quality trout. They're on these deeper grass beds in the middle of this gut. And I'm telling you guys, you can call your shots. It's one cast after the next. All right, guys, we're down here in Corpus Christi, Texas, catching these speckled trout. Well, I tell you what, they got some head shakes. It's a nice trout here, guys. Guys, what we're doing here on this big expansive grass flat, we've got some scattered potholes, and we're just working down here and we're looking. You can see some of this bait flipping behind me here in the background. And these fish this time of year, they're gonna be around that bait, especially these bigger quality trout. They don't have to feed much in the wintertime when their metabolism's slow. So when they do eat, they wanna eat a meal. Well, I tell you what, she ain't happy. She ain't happy. That's a nice one there, guys. That's a nice one. Right in the top of the roof of the mouth, right where you want them. Right where you want them. Beautiful fish. Beautiful speckled trout, guys, down here in Corpus Christi in the lower Laguna Madre. Throwing a 16th ounce jig head in a watermelon red soft plastic, and we're just dusting on the bottom, fishing it nice and slow, guys. What you want to do now, don't walk into them. See the gut, and now start walking this way with the gut throwing into it. Find these perpendicular guts and then parallel them. So what a gut is a depth change in between the flat. That's what we're fishing. We call them perpendicular guts. Anytime you get a gut that comes into a flat, that allows that fish to have access from deep water to move up into the flat. And that's what they're gonna use. They're gonna use that cover to access that flat. There's one. That fish hit me close right there at the edge of that grass. Solid trout there, guys. Another quality trout, guys. These fish are using this gut to access the shoreline. Let me tell you something. They're stacked, guys. They're stacked. Not a huge trout, great quality trout. They're on these deeper grass beds in the middle of this gut. And I'm telling you guys, you can call your shots. It's one cast after the next.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Costa Del Mar Sunglasses, who is taking abandoned and confiscated fishing nets from our oceans and turning them into the untangled sunglass frame collection. They're helping to clean our oceans and helping you see what's out there. Now this week we're going to talk first about the sand bass run, which is well underway on the Sabine River on the Texas-Louisiana border. Go up the river, use your beetle spins, your rooster tails, or even a minnow under a cork to catch these running sand bass. It's been underway for a week or 10 days, probably has another 2 weeks or so left before those fish begin to make their way back out to the main lake. And you can begin to look to that movement moving westward to the Brazos River, the Trinity Rivers, and our other rivers as we go through the spring months. Same baits will work on all the rivers, just watch for the runs in the upper ends. And at Toledo Bend Lake, they're catching giant bass. Several fish over 10, fish over 14, and even a new lake record over 15 pounds have been caught. Look for these fish up on the spawning flats and adjacent creeks moving that way. Use your standard baits like your jigs, your Texas rig lizards. You can use yum dingers and spinner baits to catch the moving fish on Toledo Bend. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Be sure and check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
Hi, this is Matt Pangrak from the Bass Talk Live podcast, and this is your Oklahoma fishing report. You know, a lot of weather has recently moved through the Oklahoma area, and that has muddied up a lot of the water that was already in the mid-40s. You know what that means? Spinnerbait time. Major tournament on Lake Eufaula just went down. Alabama rigs still playing in the cleaner water, but with that water temperature slightly rising and muddy, those fish are looking to move to the banks for pre-spawn, and that's when a big Colorado blade spinnerbait comes into play. Lake Eufaula, the crappie are starting to go really well. They won't be on the beds for another month or so, but 8 to 12 foot with a minnow and a 16th ounce jig around the I-40 bridge has been playing key. Stripers are going on Texoma, and there's a big major tournament coming up this week on Grand Lake of the Cherokees. Look for jerk baits, spinner baits, and Alabama rigs to play as anglers key in on the shad that are dying because of the changing conditions. Hey, if you guys want more information about bass fishing across the country and in the state of Oklahoma, check out the Bass Talk Live podcast, also available on YouTube Monday through Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Central Time.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Powerful. Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on. Challenge your limits.
Pay attention to the bait. Pay attention to what the birds are doing. You see some pelicans fly over a raft of bait, that should be a sign. Hey guys, welcome back. We're down here in Corpus Christi, Texas, and we got us a good one on right here, guys. Nice quality fish. I want to talk to y'all a little bit about a few key tips I want y'all to keep in mind next time y'all are on the water. Guys, when you're wade fishing, oh, this is a little red, that's why he's giving us so much trouble. Got us a little redfish on here. I want y'all to pay attention to the signs that Mother Nature gives y'all when y'all are out here. Pay attention to the bait. Pay attention to what the birds are doing. You see some pelicans fly over a raft of bait, that should be a sign. That should tell you, I need to stop, I need to fish there. Okay? Those are all things that will help you increase your bites when you're on the water. Paying attention to the little things, okay? That's what I want you guys to do. Whether that's looking for bait, looking for birds, stopping when you get a bite, doing the little things right will end up in a successful day.
What's up guys, Captain Taylor Burrell here with Wave Dancer Charters with this week's fishing report. Let's start off down in Rockport, Texas, where Captain Jonathan with Tight Lines Guide Service said the sheephead fishing has been really good along the rocks, fishing with live shrimp. He said the redfish are very fair along the jetties, free line and live shrimp, and also in the back lakes. Said there's a lot of bull reds being caught in the ship channel. All right, let's move on east a little bit, back to Galveston, my home port. The Bay guys have been catching quite a few numbers of trout, but they've been catching some really big ones wading. It's the time of year if you want to catch a big girl, that's where she's gonna be. Also, the sheephead and the redfish along the jetties have been phenomenal. Lots of big sheepshead. We've had a couple over 24 inches the past couple weeks. That's it for this week's fishing report, guys. Remember, if you want to come fishing with us, look us up on Facebook, on our website, and give us a call.
There she is. That's a good trout. She's running right at me. And guys, I want y'all to realize something. When you're down here, use the senses that the good Lord gave you. Use your feet to feel, use your ears to listen, use your eyes to see. Look for bait, look for birds. Feel the bottom, okay? These fish are using deep water today, and that's how they're accessing these flats. And you see right here why they use the deep water, okay? This fish has been hit by a porpoise. That's their #1 predator out here. And that's why they're gonna stay in these perpendicular guts, paralleling these shorelines. They're trying to avoid those.
our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Mamba Boats, Ride with Pride, Strike King, Tie One On, Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
So glad to have you back with us. It is time now for our Ask the Pro question. This week, Tyler wants to know, how has forward-facing sonar changed fishing for everyone? To get the answer, we asked Bassmaster Elite Angler Steve Kennedy.
You hear a lot of guys online complaining, about the guy in the front having it and the guy in the back not having it. When you're in a competition, I can see that being an issue. But as far as making fishing fun, I'm out here on Hartwell. We've been here, we've had 2 classics. I've had a couple more tournaments here. And when you're out there fishing in some of that deeper timber out there and stuff, you're just blind casting around. When the fish are directly under the boat, you could see them, occasionally. But now you're looking around, you can turn that, you see the trees, you can see fish swimming around in the trees, you can see fish chasing bait, you can see your bait falling down, trying to lead these fish and get it in there. You see how the fish reacts. It makes fishing in the middle of the lake just like fishing the bank. And I don't see what there is to complain about, dude. It's freaking awesome. But except for the guys that can't get it, I guess. But to me, it's cool. Very cool stuff.
If you have a question for one of the pros, visit our website, click on the Ask the Pro link, and send it on it.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining us on the water today. I wanted to walk y'all through my setup today and show y'all exactly what I use to catch these speckled trout. I throw a 6/8 medium light fast tip rod. I pair that with a 40-pound braid line with a 25-pound fluorocarbon leader. I like a fast action reel. And the key to the setup today was a 16th ounce jig head. And let me tell you why that's important. Trout have paper thin mouths, and they're known for a lot of violent head shakes when they come up to the surface. With a 16th ounce weight, it's a little bit lighter. They can't throw around that jig head near as much. It pins in their mouth and it stays pinned. Doesn't wallow out a hole, can't shake loose. It'll keep them buttoned up for you, and your ratio of landing your fish to losing fish will go up. I hope you learned something today. We'll be back next week. Thanks for tuning in.